Welcome to Group Dates and Hot Takes, a Bachelor Nation podcast. I'm Sampy.
I'm Christy, and we're recapping Clayton's season of The Bachelor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shanae's season of The Bachelor. Episode 4.
It is kind of her season, isn't it?
I hate her so much.
She really is the worst. Worst of all time.
And that's the sad thing, too, is she's not the worst in a good way.
No, she's very aggravating and infuriating.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have said this at the time, but I feel like even Victoria didn't get on my nerves this much.
No, because she was just like it's probably because Matt didn't like her as much. I think when the lead likes the villain, or appears to at least, it's worse.
Okay. Yeah, he is not making good life choices.
No. We will get into all of his mistakes this episode.
Yes, and we really will. But is there anything exciting or dramaful from outside?
Well, there was one very cringy thing I saw on Instagram, and that is Cassidy posted an Insta story asking the question, if I were to end up on Paradise, who could you see me hitting it off with? And then proceeded to list like all these Bachelor Nation guys, like Andrew from last season, Greg. Just like people didn't like you, and yet you're presuming you're going to end up on Paradise.
Maybe that's why she's assuming she will. I don't know. I just meh.
It was just like nobody asked you.
Wow. That I'm sure that is true. Yeah, I feel like Cassidy isn't super high on most people's list of things to care about.
Nope, but that was all.
Okay, well, let's get into this.
Yeah, we pick back up with Shanae once again. Women are talking about her, or arguing more likely.
Well, because they want her gone. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, so Clayton enters. I guess they tried to make it seem like as they were arguing. I'm not really sure if that was true or not, but there's a lot of awkward laughter because he doesn't know what to say.
What he should say is, I'm getting rid of Shanae.
But no, he pulls Elizabeth and Shanae outside to chat, and this was just like so dumb. Just Shanae recounts the entire saga of the shrimp.
That's so dumb.
In the hot tub. Like, who cares whether Elizabeth was in the hot tub or not? But she kept fixating on that, and nobody wanted to eat my shrimp and all this stuff. And Clayton is just like, really, I'm sitting here listening to you guys argue about shrimp.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Well, he decides to step away because what else are you going to do? And then, like, I guess after a bit, Elizabeth also walks away, and Shanae either calls her fat or fake as she walks away.
She called her fat. 100%.
I mean, both of those are bad, but yeah.
I
also calls her Cruella de Villa in the ITM. Just
Cruella de Vil, yes.
So much name calling.
Yeah, I still can't get over the whole, like, mocking for ADHD as well.
Yeah, just super nasty.
Yeah, it's also just sort of, I don't know, it's kind of a level of bullying that, like, surpasses a lot of the bullying that we see on the show.
Yeah, because it's just super mean.
Right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff we see is kind of more on the silly side, even if they're, like, trying to be mean or stir up drama or whatever. But, like, that was
cuts
a little,
deep.
that was a little excessive. Yeah, I didn't want to watch this.
Yeah, and, like, also, as I was watching all of this, I knew Elizabeth was going home, so it was just extra annoying.
What? Spoiling stuff, Christy? Unbelievable.
So, yeah, at this point, Elizabeth goes back to the women and relays Shanae's gripes. And I love how when she said, like, no one wanted Shanae's shrimp, they were all like, yeah, because we just ate yours. We were full. Like, that's such a simple explanation. But yet, Shanae just can't grasp that.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they also didn't because it was Shanae's shrimp, because Shanae is a real jerk.
Yeah, that too.
Like, what do you expect? I mean, come on. Ugh, so frustrating.
And then we have this, like, segment where Shanae just finds a bunch of shrimp, loads her plate with it, comes back to the group all smug.
I don't like it.
And so at this point, cocktail party is canceled. I just thought this was kind of silly. Like, Clayton is exhausted, not in a great headspace. So we don't talk to anybody.
No, wouldn't want to make more connections or let your audience learn anything about 99% of your contestants.
No, we just got to focus on Shanae.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Really, for sure. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, at the rose ceremony, Elizabeth goes home, sadly.
Which,
unfairly as well.
I also want to say too, like, what is wrong with him?
I can't figure it out.
I say that, right, obviously with the knowledge, right, that of course he doesn't know everything we know.
I feel like
but at the same time, you have this thing that's been going on. Both of them have been going back and forth right in front of you. If really that's like a genuine thing, why are you not sending both of them home instead of picking? Because like because really there isn't a whole lot of room for like, oh wow, it's just like this simple misunderstanding or like one of you is being really terrible but the other isn't. It just seems like in that sort of situation you send both of them home. Or
yeah,
at least you find out additional information to make an actual educated decision.
Well, yeah, that's the key.
Instead of
go off the two of them.
Instead of just, making your decision off of who's had their hand down your pants for most of the season.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. It just seemed like Elizabeth came off more genuine anyway. I don't know why that didn't come across to him, but it was very sad.
He was thinking with his crotch, Christy. Is there really any other explanation?
I don't know. I didn't think Shanae was like better looking than Elizabeth or anything.
No, it has nothing to do with that. I mean, have you not been watching this season? The amount of times that Shanae has like straddled him and like shoved her tongue down his throat and like, I mean, it's been really excessive. Like every single opportunity, she has been like after him really physically.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like Elizabeth has the potential to do that as well. So
No, Christy,
that's not a reason.
No,
for me
you're
to keep.
no, you're. I think you're maybe misunderstanding me. I'm saying that Shanae was actually doing that.
I know. I don't know.
And I'm saying that Elizabeth, to that
Wasn't.
point, wasn't. I'm sure if she thought she had the chance, she would. I'm just saying that every single time we've seen Shanae, she has taken every opportunity, like thinking of the party, for example. Oh, like, or wait, not the party, I guess, but I don't know. You just see her straddling him a lot, and it's uncomfortable. And I don't like it.
That's true.
Even, I mean, you see this later with her whole interruption thing. She, like, makes him, like, pick her up and put her on that, like, bar or whatever. Like, it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Ugh.
I just would hope Clayton could see past that.
Doubt. Yeah.
So, yeah, Shanae gloats as Michelle exits, which is extremely aggravating to watch.
Yeah, like, if you need any indication that the wrong person was sent home.
Yeah. Well. So we move on to the next day, and Jesse announces they are leaving Los Angeles for a worldwide international journey, which starts in Houston.
Wow. Exciting.
Yeah, so lots of screams. And so in Texas, we get this odd little interlude of Clayton's friend Clarence arriving.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it was more so just to drive home the Clayton wants a wife and kids narrative, I think.
Yes, lest we forgot about that.
Yes, and how sincere he is.
Yes, he's so sincere. He is so sincere. Let me just tell you how sincere he is. He is sincere and genuine. That's how sincere he is. Unbelievable.
I guess the Bachelor thinks we forget that they have to drive this home every week.
Have they been on air so long that the majority of their audience is now in old folks' homes? And so they have to
Not quite.
They have to cut through all the brain fog and disease and stuff, all the dementia. They have to remind us. No, you don't think that's it?
No, because
Okay.
I'm at the upper end of the audience.
No, you're not. No, you're not at all.
Bachelor was only on for 8 years before I started watching, so
Yeah, but Christy, you are I would say you are on the young side of Bachelor watchers.
maybe. I mean, it just depends on what age you started watching, I guess.
Well, of course. I'm just saying their demographic. I think that you are not their typical demographic. I think it skews older than you.
Oh. Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so we go to this one-on-one.
Yes, it's Rachel. So we have another horseback riding.
Oh, yay. I love horseback riding.
Very COVID friendly.
Oh, yay. We haven't seen this ever before. Definitely not every single season for the past, entire set of seasons I've been around for. Even even back to what's her face at the ranch. Didn't Claire go on a horseback ride with Dale? In the desert?
Was that Jason? The guy she had the whole therapy throwing rocks date.
I mean, it could be. I'm not sure. I just remember a horseback ride all the way back then.
Yeah, they keep doing it.
Yeah.
So this ride ends at a barbecue.
Can I just say before we get into this? Do they think that we're morons?
I think so.
Yeah. It's organic, Christy. It's natural. It happened organically.
Yeah, we just show up to a barbecue and nobody bats an eye oh, just join in. There's already camera crews here, by the way, because there's a shot of them approaching on horses.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
Clayton,
ridiculous.
Clayton, it's I smelled food, so I had to come eat some.
Why not just say, it turns out this random family are the owners of Blood Bros Barbecue.
Is that a famous place?
No, just some probably mom and pop place there in Houston. But it's an actual restaurant. I went out to their Facebook page and they had a watch party for this episode there. So it's a legit place. I don't know why they didn't just say, hey, we're joining Blood Bros Barbecue for lunch.
Because they wanted it to have a family feel, Christy.
You can still have that. It's a family-owned business.
No, Christy, it had to be she was meeting her in-laws sort of deal.
It was so stupid. Because Clayton had an ITM where he was yeah, it's important that she fits in with my family. This is not your family. It's so strange.
Yeah, they they seemed like nice people. Yeah, it was just very bizarre because then they're telling all this sort of typical Bachelor meet the parents stuff to these random barbecue people.
Yeah, it was so strange. She's telling them she wants 4 kids. They don't care how many kids she wants.
Wow, Christy, come on. Yeah, it was very weird and disconcerting.
If I were her, I'd just be well, what are we doing here? I think the producers are just out of ideas.
Time to fire all of them and hire new people.
I mean, this reminds me of in past seasons where the lead and whoever he's on the date with show up and crash a random wedding. They literally just show up, and it's obviously they had to get permission from bride and all that beforehand.
Can you imagine like ABC just getting sued by a couple because they crashed their wedding? I don't know, Chrissy. Maybe it's just like Trump going to those people's weddings. You know, you just people are just automatically just so excited for that maybe it wasn't set up. Maybe they did just crash it.
I don't understand how people are excited for that, but
yeah. So I don't know. This was real weird, and then they were like sitting alone for a bit, and she was like doing this weird whisper talking.
Yeah, as if they're not mic'd up.
I don't know if she thought that maybe she could talk privately or something.
Yeah, but basically they just make out a lot.
Wow, surprise.
Yeah, talk about how strong of a connection they have.
Oh, so strong.
And
yeah.
Anything else from the date portion?
Just that, like, I'm very skeptical of not, and I'm not speaking specifically of this date, but like of these so-called strong connections.
Oh, well, yes. I think their strong connection is just with their mouth.
Wow. I didn't go there.
Well, I mean, that's all we're shown.
Well, that is true. Well, what about the nighttime portion?
Well, Clayton is curious how somebody as great as she is still single. It's like, how do you even answer that?
It's like, no, I actually, I am a mass murderer, and all of my close friends and family know, so whenever I start dating someone, they tell them my secrets, and then they break up with me. Like, just crap happens. One day you wake up and you're in your late 20s and 30s and 40s and you're still single and you're like, how did this happen? And you just have no idea.
Well, she gives him a little bit of a reason. She talks about how she always wanted to be a pilot, and I guess in the airline industry or aviation industry, it's a lot harder as a woman. And so she's had to work a lot harder, and I guess boyfriends she's had in the past were not supportive of her and thought she would just be a cheater.
I mean, that's not necessarily the most unfounded fear, to be honest.
You mean that whole stereotype?
Yes, from what I've heard, that's not as much a stereotype as like pretty true.
Yeah, although I didn't know if it was also true for women.
I think it's just more of a potential thing for pilots in general, just because like it's just a very nomadic lifestyle.
Yeah. But he reassures her that he would never hold her back. And more making out.
No, Christy, that doesn't sound like him.
I mean, I have to say these two do seem to actually like each other. Like, especially if you compare to last week with Clayton and like Sarah with the scavenger hunt date.
You don't think they had a strong connection?
Not as strong as these two have.
Okay.
And Then we have a double doors moment where we open it and we have another band playing that I've never heard of.
Is this the third time they've done this season?
Yeah, I feel like every date has had some kind of music component.
Because they had the exact same thing with like the orchestra.
Yeah. And then that other random lady.
So there was 3.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Wow, this is our 4th episode of this season.
Well, The Bachelor loves that shot of the two of them making out in front of the musicians.
I just...
So the band is called Restless Road.
I have no idea who they are.
Me either. I saw people referring to them jokingly as the country music Jonas Brothers.
I mean, there were there just 3 of them?
I think I saw a photo online at maybe 4.
Okay. Yeah, I think there were 3 out standing in front, and then there was a guy on drums. So
Yeah.
I think, it was 4.
I mean, the song sounded good enough, I guess.
I mean, I couldn't really hear it over the sound of the kissing.
And then Clayton did this thing again where he's handing out the rose in front of the band.
Christy,
odd.
he just likes it.
And so he tells her he will never dim her light. So a successful one-on-one.
Their relationship is really progressing here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, please go ahead.
Time for the group date.
Oh, boy. So
And
exciting.
Actually, before we get to the actual date, we have Gabby, Genevieve, and Sierra talking loudly about Shanae and how they're going to report her to Clayton. Now, I don't understand
This was all... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
why they were talking so loudly and didn't check to make sure Shanae can't hear them.
I don't think it was real.
Really?
Really.
I mean, when they were panning to Shanae, you could hear the audio
Christy.
of them talking. And she even said later she overheard them talking about her.
Any even mediocre editor could do that.
Okay, but what about when she said she heard them?
You don't think that she would lie? Or that she would be told by the producers that they had been talking about her? I just don't buy it. It's very suspicious that, they just, like, happen to have happen to be recording both on both sides of the wall, as Shanae was, like, taking a nap and as the other girls were sitting around. Like, I don't know. I don't buy it.
Well,
I'm suspicious.
They also showed her with her ear against the wall. So what was she listening to then?
I think it was all made up. I think that they told her to do that.
I guess we'll never know.
No, but I do not trust them.
I mean, generally I don't either, but it seemed...
This is why I'm so surprised that you're being so trusting now. Come on, put on your tinfoil hat with me, Christy. Nothing is real!
Yeah, I don't know. But on the actual date, it's a football-themed date. And so they are tailgating. They play cornhole. We have this Hyundai electric car product placement. Very blatantly.
It's also just funny to me because I don't know if they would have done this otherwise. It was just something that I was confused about because all the girls like showed up in a van. Because like Clayton was already there And so you have this van drive up with all the women in it, and it looked like a van that, like, it was probably like a Mercedes Benz, because like Mercedes, they have like that giant like circle logo, and they make a lot of like those types of vehicles, like a lot of like transport type stuff is made by them. And so I was just wondering, like, because if it actually was, it just seems kind of funny to blur out the logo because it's like such a recognizable thing. But then, you know, the camera pans over and you have this nicely arranged 3 brand new Hyundai electric cars, you know, and Clayton, you know, takes the charger for it and plugs it into the grill. So the cars are tailgate ready, and you can power your electric grill with your electric car.
Yeah, so I guess they couldn't have competing car companies right there.
Right.
I also saw this on the internet. Somebody did a short video of the Clayton grilling, and you can see there's like 2 burgers on the grill, and he flips one of them, but it's still completely raw. So it was all just for show.
Oh, yeah, and I did comment at the time. I was like, those burgers, because it was 2 like just really super low quality burgers, and then there's some like really kind of nasty looking hot dogs too.
I don't think anybody ate that food.
No, I would be willing to bet that no, it was not. So, what do you think about them getting real football players instead of fake Vikings?
Oh, yes, definitely an improvement. I actually didn't look these 2 guys up to see, like, are they, like, current players or what, but they seemed real.
Well, I mean, they definitely were human.
Yes.
Yeah, so, of course, there has to be a competition, and losers getting sent back and winners getting to spend time with Clayton.
Yes, they will be playing actual tackle football, which is just horrifying. If you have never done this before, I would assume.
They had pads.
That doesn't protect you from everything, as we saw later.
Still, it was probably good for them.
So the two teams are the Shrimp Stampede versus the Purple Punishers.
Can you guess which team Shanae's on?
Wow. I wonder.
I wonder. Definitely not the Shrimp Stampede.
And Shanae also makes it known that she will be tackling Genevieve and Sierra.
Yeah, because they were talking crap about her, so she's gonna bring them down.
And so next we are treated to a montage of all the times we've had football group dates, which I had forgotten how many we've had over the years, but it's quite a few.
Yes, it was all very inspirational.
Yes.
Yeah, if you wanna call it that, which I don't. Yeah, I mean, I felt a little bad, like, since, you know, I mean, it obviously wasn't wasn't for football, but like having a team with like a former Olympian on it, a little unfair.
Yes, Marlena was the best of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Sierra was also pretty good too.
I mean, it's not really saying a whole lot. They all seemed pretty terrible.
Well, yeah, none of them actually know how to play football, so lots of fumbles and missed tackles, bad snaps.
Chrissy's like, rookie mistakes. I would have never been so embarrassing out there.
I would have refused to play, probably. It's like, I'm not doing this.
So what you're saying is, if you were on the show, you would have put on your like application audition packet that you absolutely love football and have to be on any football date so that they don't pick you.
Yeah, something like that.
Because for sure, if you put, I do not like physical activity, you'll be on the football date for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyways, yes.
Purple team wins.
No surprise there, but I don't know. There was just a lot of like, I don't know, unnecessary tackling. It seemed like a lot of grudges being worked out.
Yes, Shanae and Sierra kind of traded tackles when they didn't need to be, and I think Clayton noticed as well.
Oh yeah, I forget, was it Sierra that told him later? She was like, one of them was, I'm not sure if it was Sierra, but it was like, I didn't know you had to tackle just the person with the ball.
Yeah, she like played dumb. I'm pretty sure she knows.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, come on. Yeah, but don't let rules of a sport get in the way of smashing someone you have beef with.
No, gotta get that aggression out.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And of course, since Shanae was on the losing team, she is sulking.
What an idiot.
Yep, so the losers arrive back to the hotel.
I love how they, like, sent them back to the hotel in the gear. Like,
oh, yeah, maximum humiliation.
You know, they didn't go from the hotel in the gear. Like, the gear was presumably, like, at the stadium.
Yeah, it's like on Claire's season when all the guys had to walk back naked.
Yeah. I don't get it, but, well, I mean, I get it in that, like, they want to embarrass everybody, but still.
So at the nighttime portion, we see a chat with Teddy, who has scraped her knee.
I mean, you
pretty
play
badly.
on you play on turf. You're gonna lose some skin here and there.
Yeah, it looked painful to me. So she talks about how she feels like she's having to gain his love, which is interesting perspective. I guess when you're a contestant, it can feel like that because you're competing.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of just really just important emotional things, Christy.
Yeah. I'm assuming they made out.
No.
I didn't write it down, but I feel like that's a safe assumption. So yeah, Sierra talks to him now, and this is where I feel like Clayton is now an idiot, because he gets a whole string of people telling him how bad Shanae is, and the result of this is
Nothing.
I just don't get it. So he gets told all of that, and then we see Shanae
Muscle her way.
plotting and scheming and making her way to the group date, which she should not be there because she lost. And I love how Clayton was at first like, what are you doing here? Your team lost. But then, like, he talks to her and he's like, oh, I'm happy you're here. Like, after you've just been told about Shanae, why is he, like, so chipper and happy to see her?
Because she sucks on his face a lot.
And so, like, Shanae gives him this sob story about the 3 girls plotting against him, and so, like, he just makes out with her, puts her on the counter, like you mentioned earlier, more making out.
Which, of course, the other winners of the date can see, and are like, how does she still win? Because that's the thing, right? Like, you break up a date like that, you should be going home, and usually do.
Yeah, but instead it works out for her. And then her ITM, she's like, I'm kind of winning a little bit.
Ugh.
The absolute worst. And then she, like, goes back to the group and takes their trophy and throws it into the bushes.
So stupid.
Just terrible.
What a horrible human being.
Yeah, and then she's like, it's this Shanae show, not The Bachelor. Which she's not wrong.
She needs to go home.
Yeah, we see a preview for next week that there's a 2-on-1 with her and Genevieve, it looks like.
Oh, dear Lord.
So hopefully she is gone there.
You better. Better be. Time to pull your head out of your butt there, Clayton.
Oh, I should also mention that Clayton released a apology on his Insta story, basically saying sorry to Elizabeth. Like, if I'd known what was really happening, I would have sent Shanae home immediately. And I'm learning and growing, and actions weren't always the best.
Here's a question for you, more of a meta question, I guess. Is, since you have more seasons under your belt, so do the women typically have a harder time sort of like having good relationships, or like unifying or banding together? Like, I have a pretty limited scope of what I know, but it seems like over the seasons I've seen, it's more common for a decent bulk of the guys to, like, actually seem to really like each other and like have good relationships, and even to the point of and I forget which season this was, but you remember when, like, the group of them, like, went and, like, talked to the lead and were like, hey, like, this is a bad situation, like, we want you to know about this that's going on. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Katie season?
I forget who they were talking about.
Probably Carl.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it just seems like that's more of a common thing in that sort of situation. Has that been your experience kind of going back more seasons that tends to happen fairly regularly with the guys of a season?
I don't think I've seen the guys like unionize like that before, like they did with Carl, but I will say the women, I don't see them joining together like that usually. And I also think there have been a lot of seasons where like women have tried to warn the Bachelor about a certain girl, but they're just so blinded that they keep them a lot longer than they should. So this whole Shanae thing is like something we've seen before. The person just usually isn't as bad as Shanae. So it's not as terrible, but this same sort of thing does happen a lot where the guys just seem like they're not getting it from what the women are telling them.
Interesting. Yeah, I was just curious about that, kind of going back, because it seems like there's been kind of a pattern in what I've seen, but I've also not seen that many seasons.
Yeah, I also think sometimes the women are just better at sussing out bad behavior. Like, look at how Michelle handled things. Like, she eliminated problematic people much quicker. So,
yeah, it's just I don't know if I don't know what that can be attributed to. It's just interesting to see. I don't know if the women who are contestants tend to have more of a problem with each other overall.
I think it's also just maybe more competitive.
Well, I mean, I guess that does seem like it, given like I don't know a lot of the guys competitors I've seen, like it's been much more like friendly.
Yes.
In the house.
Women are more catty, I think.
Interesting. Well, anyways, we can continue. Put this to rest. Hopefully.
Well, I think that was the end. They kind of left us hanging there.
Well.
We also learned that Sarah apparently peed on herself.
So what happens? That's what happens when you don't wear underwear.
I don't know that that's connected.
I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, that's literally what she said in the tag.
Yeah, but I don't think it's because she wasn't wearing underwear.
Oh, no. I'm saying it was much worse because she wasn't. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if I'd say that's worse.
I love how this is a disagreement we're having. Actually, when I pee myself and I'm wearing underwear, it is not as bad as when I'm not wearing underwear. Actually.
If you aren't wearing underwear, you can kind of just squat down like if you were wearing a dress or something and you wouldn't have soaked undies.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, we don't know what outfit she was wearing, so if she was wearing pants, it would have been worse.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really catch. So it was in front of Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, I don't know who that is though. So.
He's a rapper.
Oh.
Yeah. That's and I prefer not to tell people whenever I pee on myself.
Yeah, like why'd she tell us that on national television?
I don't know. I have no answers for you, Christy. Only more questions. Well, any last words for the good people of Earth?
No, just hoping Shanae goes soon.
Pretty sure we've ended every episode this season with that. Hopefully she'll be gone next week.
Eventually, she will have to leave.
I mean, I hope so. Can you imagine if, like, Clayton posts that apology and, like, she's in his house because he chose her? That would be real bad. Yes. Anyway, let's think of more less depressing things. Like how people can get in contact with us.
Yes, you can email us at groupdatespod@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram at groupdatespodcast.
Mm-hmm. And we had 14 kisses.
Not too bad. I mean, we only saw 2 dates this episode, so that's probably why it's a little less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, there's been so much Shanae drama that it's really sort of, in my opinion, slowed down a lot of the season and the relationships and all of that. Like, it's just really affected things a lot, it seems like. I mean, I guess we'll see how things go by next episode, but like the last season with Michelle, like after episode 5, she had kissed a lot, and it just seems kind of more of a slow dribble here.
Yeah.
But anyway, as I keep saying, this episode, I have nothing else to say. I am over Shanae.
Same.
And every night before I go to bed, I get down on my knees beside my bed and I pray to the dear Lord above that Shanae is gone the next time I watch The Bachelor. This has been Group Dates and Hot Takes, a Bachelor Nation podcast. I'm Sampy.
And I'm Christy. We'll talk to you next week.